Hi, and welcome to the 91 Day Business Spotlight Live. I'm your host, Jonathan Mast, and I'm thrilled today to have Nicole Gregory with me. Nicole and I met, goodness, probably 10 plus years ago
Yeah.
and have stayed in touch as both of our lives and our careers have evolved over that time. And Nicole, I'm just so thrilled to have the opportunity to chat with you this morning and have you share a little bit. So let's start off for people that may not know who you are, what you do. Talk to us a little bit, Nicole, about who you serve at Urban U and how do you guys make their lives better?
Well, thanks, Jonathan, for having me. And yes, I think it's been close to 10 years. I was thinking about that too. I'm like, I actually remember being fairly new to the community and I met you somewhere. Like, this is a person I have to know from a technology standpoint because I love technology. And I'll talk about that today, how technology is integrated into our business. But blessed to have you in my circle of people I know. Yeah, Urban U, we are a multi-location medical spa. So we do medical aesthetics. We have 4 locations throughout Michigan. And if someone's not familiar with medical aesthetics or a med spa, we do non-invasive procedures. So items such as Botox or filler. We do medical grade facials. We do laser, cool sculpting, so body sculpting type of activities. We also focus on weight loss. The interesting part about this industry is it's blowing up. It's like crazy right now. Everyone's getting into it. We started this over 7 years ago, and at that time, there really was a very few medical spas. It was mostly plastic surgery,
Hmm.
excuse me,
Sure.
and dermatologists. And they took 75% of the market. So med spas are a really small part. And so I love to look for gaps. I looked at this market and said, what is it? What do people want when they're going to look for these services? And they really want street level. They want to make it themselves feel like it's normalized. And I think the difference between a plastic surgeon and a derm is it can feel either too bougie or too
Hmm.
clinical. And so when we pulled together our brand, we said, let's really create and find that gap that allows people to feel like they belong there. So it's Urban U and trends live here. You belong here. And we really work through that because we want people to come through the door and, know the person that they're going to be working with, but also just feel, comfortable. So we created, well, first of all, we wrapped technology and marketing around the brand. We said that's going to be our staple. We're going to create a brand that people can have that midnight moment. Like, geez, I have this event next week. How do I, 9 to 5, no one has time to call anyone or set those appointments up, but I have time from 9 to 12 at night where I'm like, I got to do that, set those appointments. So we created not only online booking, we found some of the best, cloud software out there. And then we said, how can we create the online booking? Also an app. Most people in this business do not have an app. So we, again, found a gap. Where are people not playing? And it was that marketing technology side. The brand really wasn't there. And so when you look at that market was 75%, plastic surgery and dermatologists, 7 years later, med spas are over 75% of the market share. So it's really interesting how fast it's grown and where it's going now.
That is so cool to hear how that market has changed and how you took advantage of that and stepped into by identifying a need in the marketplace and filling that. Talk to us a little bit about where you're located and how big of area. I mean, when we're talking med spa, obviously, certainly anybody can fly in, but where's your normal client located at, Nicole, and what types of things can they expect maybe the first time they reach out to find out more about your services?
Well, we're throughout Michigan, so we have Grand Rapids and we have some over in Metro Detroit as well. And interestingly enough, we're expanding and growing. So we are looking for more partners. And a partner can look at such as someone who has maybe opened their own practice in the past, their own med spa practice. It's like, you know what, I've been doing this and it's just a lot of work. I want to have a really great brand and technology so I can do what I love to do. And maybe that's being behind the chair. That means they love to do the, non-invasive procedure part of it. So we are growing right now. We're always looking for partners. We have some great partnerships we're working on in Ohio and in Indiana. So yes, we're in Michigan, but we're growing. And when you come into Urban U, I think, again, the feeling is you feel like you belong there. It's not too medical, too bougie. But at the
Hmm.
same point, we have what a membership program, and that's been really successful for us. And a lot of times people will say, "Well, I'm over memberships. Tired of looking at my credit card and going, I don't use that enough." So ours is a little bit different. It's a savings bank, and that is really sticky for our guests because they can come in. They know every month a certain amount of money is kind of coming out of their bank and going into their bank at Urban U. So when they come in for those services that might be a little bit higher priced, they're not having to reach into that pocketbook and go, "Ah, I can't do it. I just don't have the money." They're excited when they come in. They're like, "Oh, I didn't pay for anything because I've been paying for it over the last, 3 months or 4 months." And that has been a really great, we've been doing that since the beginning. A really great opportunity for us to meet our guests where they are and saying, what is it that you really want? And how can we help you get there? And the first thing that starts with is what we call a wellness consultation. A lot of practices will call it a client intake. I'm like, that feels
Hmm.
that feels generic. I
It
want to
does,
know you.
absolutely.
I want to know you and your wellness. And wellness doesn't have to mean, I'm lifting weights and taking protein drinks. I mean, wellness is how I feel. Wellness is how I come across to you. That's how well. I mean, you can tell a person who's stressed out, a person who's confident, a person who feels light and lighthearted. And so that's what we really try to do is when that consultation is take the time to get to know you and what your goals are, not just, maybe for the wedding coming up, but for the next few years. Can we help you maintain that look, that feeling that you want? And so we put everyone on a journey. So we call it the wellness journey. So that's really the first thing you're going to get when you walk through the door is a big smile and a nice assessment of who you are and what your goals are.
I love it. I love how you set that up, and I really like that concept as opposed to a membership, a savings bank like that. That makes so much sense, and I think that really is a great way to identify the needs again of your marketplace and deal with that, and give them just tremendous value out of that. It's so much nicer than feeling, oh, I've got to use this or I'm going to lose it type of thing. And I love
Yes.
the way that's set up. That's fantastic. Talk to me a little bit about, you mentioned that there's been a lot of change in the industry when you got started 7 years ago. The med spa part of the market was 25%, the clinical side was more 75%. Talk to me about that change, and I just love to get your perspective as an entrepreneur and as a leader in that industry. Why do you think that change has happened? Obviously it's because it's serving the clients better, the clients like that, but I'd love to hear from your perspective. What do you think has caused that shift to now move it that the med spas are much more prominent than, again, some of those specialty clinics may have been years ago?
Yeah, I think one of the things that's really helped it, honestly, has been, I mean, we can always kind of swear at social media going, it's so much work and there's so good and bad to it. But it really has been great for this industry because we're looking at each other through obviously the lens of a camera. And people did that a ton during COVID. Our business
Oh
really
yeah.
excelled during that time. But even prior to that, great thing about social media is I can see what people are doing, and I can see maybe how that would fit me. And it's really interesting. It was the Kardashians or that kind of level of,
Hmm.
A-list,
Hmm.
movie stars or celebrities. They were doing these services, and you're going to see a lot of the trends start. Normally, East Coast, West Coast, again. That's where we saw the celebrities doing it, and everyone's like, "Hey, how do I emulate that? How do I do that?" So that did help our business. But then we also found with social media, rather than being a coastal kind of opportunity for trends, social media allowed. I mean, Boise, Idaho, at one point was going off the chart with trends because of social media. And there's a really great provider out there in business that was doing some cool, innovative type of stuff. So then that just kind of goes through the interwebs, right? And we
Yep.
all, as businesses, try to like work toward, is that something we want to provide our guests? So social media has been a great way, and it's normalized things, right? So I now know it's not just someone in a certain socioeconomic class or color or culture. Everyone can do these services, and it really, and so it's went from the Kardashian kind of celebrity status. It also has went to more of a natural look. So again, rather than the overindulging, it is,
Yep.
I just
Yep.
want to glow. I just want to look good. I love aging. I'm not afraid of aging, but maybe I just want it to be a little bit lighter. I want to,
I
I want
love
to look
that.
refreshed. So that's really where it's going now. But who knows? That could change again. So what leads this industry are individuals in Boise, Idaho, or wherever it might be, who are willing to try and do something different.
I love that. Thanks for sharing that. It's some great insight. Well, Nicole, if people are interested in learning more about Urban U and what services that you have available and locations and things like that, what's the best way for them to reach out and connect with you and Urban U?
Yeah, thanks. So all of our handles are the Urban U. So theurbanu.com. You can go there and see what's going on right now. We have some great providers who are always doing education. So it's a really great way to say, what am I thinking about doing? But then all of our social handles are the Urban U as well.
Fantastic. Well, I want to encourage you, as someone who's known Nicole now for about 10 years and watched this journey, it's been really exciting to watch another entrepreneur take and dive into a market, identify a need and grow their business. And seeing that growth obviously means you're meeting a need that the community has. So Nicole, it's been so awesome to do that. It's been great to catch up, and I want to continue to wish you the best and encourage you, if you're listening here on the 91 Day Business Spotlight Live, reach out to Nicole if you're in Michigan or in surrounding areas, or maybe you're interested as an entrepreneur in doing something like this as well. As Nicole's expanding, reach out, have a conversation with her and her team, and find out what opportunities might exist. I can certainly tell you she's a great and wise entrepreneur, definitely someone that you want to know. So, Nicole, thank you so much for your time. We thank everybody for watching live or on the replay. We value you. And if you've got a business that you'd like to do a 15-minute spotlight on, make a comment down below the video and we'll get in touch with you and see if we can get you approved. Thanks, and make it a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.